Story time on the worst date ever. I deleted my Hinge account after this. I highly don't recommend. So I met this guy on Hinge, and at first he was pretty cool. We messaged for a few days. And so finally he was like, let's go on a date. Let's go bowling. So I was like, okay, cool. We can go bowling. I'll just meet you there. So he was like, all right. This is when I knew, this is when shit turned left extremely quick, and I should have known this was a red flag. This man literally went on my Instagram from like years ago and took an old picture of me in some dang on heels and a hat and was like, hey, can you wear this to the bowling alley? So he's like, I think this picture is fine,
Yo, so right off the rip, never do that. Remember one time I almost did that because you know how it is when you meet somebody on a date and see certain pictures of them and you want them to look that certain way, but at the same time, that's giving off creep type energy because it's a control tactic. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, think about it. Like, do you really have the right to tell somebody you don't know what to wear? The only person you should be telling what to wear is if your woman is wearing something provocative or if you have a child and you picking out their clothes. The girl you just met, you telling her what to wear is a super red flag. And then not only that, my dog went to the Instagram from 2 years ago. So you met her on Hinge and you went to her Instagram and went down 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So that says a lot to me about this dude as a man. Because it's like, dude, what you got going on, my G? Like, come on, dog.
You got on heels, you got in the hat, and I want you to be fly. Like, I think you should wear that. And I'm like, I don't even know where this outfit is. This is years ago. I haven't worn this outfit in forever, and we're going bowling. I want to be chill. I want to wear some sneakers and some jeans or something. Steadily pressing me about this outfit.
All right, so I do feel her on that because it's like when you going bowling, first of all, I'm never telling a woman what to wear because a woman should know what to wear. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to tell you what to wear, but to a bowling alley, you're bowling. So of course you should be casual. Why would you come to the bowling alley with heels on? Because she said she had heels on. So dude is already kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just the vibes I'm getting right now.
Going back and forth, and I'm just like, boy, I'm wearing what I want. So anyways, I end up meeting him at the bowling alley, and I see him. I walk up and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, how are you? I'm Ariel. And the first thing he does is he says, you're really short. Straight like that. He looked me up and down. No, hey, no, how you doing? Nice to meet you. He said, you're really short. And then he walked away and he was like, I'm gonna go get some shoes. Instantly, I'm turned off because I have never in my life had a man tell me that I was short.
Yeah, and guys, I know this is very extreme, and I know dudes are gonna say, man, like, do dudes really do this type of stuff? Like, he met her and the first thing he did was look her up and down and say, you're really short. And what you gotta understand is two things, right? I have a lot of homegirls that the stories that they tell me, even just women in general, you guys wouldn't even believe these stories. Women deal with so much extreme situations, we have to talk about these situations. Of course, as a man, yeah, you may not do these things, but what you gotta understand is women deal with these type of things on a daily. That's why y'all see me do reaction to a bunch of these stories, because men be doing these things. But what I'm saying to you guys is what you gotta understand is when you're meeting a woman off a dating app, of course you're gonna be taking a chance. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a dating app, but I don't think it should be your number one go-to. It should just be a tool. Because even if you FaceTime the chick on FaceTime or whatever, you still can't get a good look at how her overall body is. You know what I'm saying? Until you see her on the date. Because I remember like 3 years ago, I had met up with a chick that I met on Hinge. Crazy is that same chick, she used to live on the same floor as my apartment complex as we got to talking, but I met up with her and she didn't look the same as she did in her pictures. But of course, I didn't say nothing about it because it's this thing called not being rude. You know what I'm saying? So of course, I'm gonna go through with the date, but knowing that I'm not going to mess with her again. Actions speak louder than words. You ain't gotta diss somebody like that. So I can tell this dude is not used to getting any type of woman because you don't do nothing like that. You continue with the date once you see her, and if you don't like her after the date, you ain't gotta see her again. You can ghost her. You have the right to do that. But doing all this stuff, being judgmental, you too short, come on, man.
And complain about it. Usually men like it, but instantly I'm like, oh, I'm so turned off. And I know how this is gonna be. So we go get the shoes and we find our lane, and dude has an attitude off jump. He's like, you could have came in here looking fly. Like, I like my girls to look fly, and that's not fly what you got on. So I'm just looking at the dude. I'm not saying nothing. The dude from New York, so he was already pretty like aggressive. And
already, homie, you're not even living in the moment, man. I mean, you're so locked into what she got going on. As long as she ain't got on nothing crazy, like where she looking hella provocative, I'm not really tripping. I don't be worried about what a woman got on the first date. As long as you're presentable, I ain't tripping on that. And then you talking about, I like my woman to look fly. I like my woman to look fly, man. Like, this is a woman that you're on a first date with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no control over what she's wearing. And that gives off a sense of creep. It gives off a sense of you're insecure. It gives off a sense of you don't get what you want out of life. It gives off a sense of that you're crazy because you're trying to tell her what she needs to wear before the date, and then on the date you're judging how tall she is, and then you know what I'm saying, you're judging what she's wearing. Like, come on, man. Like, you slick acting like a bitch.
So he like asking me questions like, where you from? Where you grew up at? Real aggressive. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with this man? Like, kind of acting crazy. And so then he goes on back on a tangent about how short I am. He's like, you real short. Like, you just real short. So finally I'm like, okay, so what? Like, men love that I'm short. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually. And like, I'm throwing the ball or whatever. And he's like, you're not really good at this. Like, you suck. You're not good at bowling at all. And he like snatches the ball from me. So at this point, I'm like low-key scared.
And again, guys, I know this is very extreme right now, but again, like I said, when you talk to women, like a lot of you dudes don't really talk to women. Like there's like, you know, I talk to a lot of women on a daily basis, and the stories they tell me just be unbelievable about dudes. Unbelievable. Some real spill, man. Like, you getting in your feelings, you telling a woman that she sucks at something, so you're taking it too seriously. It's okay to be competitive, because if I go bowling with a woman, I'm gonna be competitive with her. It's on some friendly positiveness. It ain't on no negative, like you want some negative type of energy. But at the end of the day, if you bowl, have fun. If you don't like her, you ain't gotta see her again, my dude. And again, this is why I don't prefer for you to make dating apps your number one thing in your life. You're meeting people in person, because when you meet somebody in person, you can get a good sense of how you obviously can see how they look. You can see what their vibe is like. You can see what their conversation is like. And when you meet somebody online, you're going off pictures. The pictures may be old, You know, you can edit all this kind of craziness. So what I'm saying is, for one, dude, you need to work on your social skills. If you're doing this with every woman you meet, you ain't gonna never be with a, you know what I'm saying, a very fine, attractive woman that's feminine, mature, invest in you. You ain't gonna never get one of those, because they're gonna be turned off by you. They'll cut you off from the second you came in that bowling alley. They would have been dipped on you.
So I end the day early. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go home. Like, I got a long day tomorrow. I gotta get up because it was in the middle of the week. And so I get home, and before I get a chance to block him, because that was my intentions, he calls me and he's like blowing up my phone, and he's asking me to come over. And I'm like, oh yeah, this dude is mentally insane. I blocked him and I deleted my Hinge, and I never got back on Hinge after that.
Yeah, that's, and again, I know this is extreme because I react to a lot of videos like this, and I know dudes be saying in my comments like, man, Josh, like, dudes really do this? Yeah. And I know it's extreme, but we can all learn from these type of things. For one, don't make dating apps your priority, because a lot of times people are not going to look like their pictures. Focus on meeting women in person. You know, if you don't like somebody, actions speak louder than words. Move on. Enjoy the date, and then after the date, you don't have to see them again. This dude is obviously crazy because you dissing her the whole time, but yet you hitting her up trying to get her to come over after the date. So the dude is obviously loco. We know dudes. Just because you're not doing nothing like this doesn't mean that it doesn't go on. Because when you talk to women, why do y'all think women, think about it, most women naturally deal with being sexually harassed, being raped, being, you know what I'm saying, being stalked. Think about it. And it comes from certain dudes like this. You want to make sure that you're not giving off signs of being needy, desperate, because this is why most of you dudes get friend zoned, because you're over pursuing. Because we already know women, they already know if they like you when they first meet you. So you're over pursuing, you're doing too much, you're being too needy, you're being too judgmental. So that's what I mean that we can learn from this, because it's the little things. Because women deal with such extreme situations that if you give off any of these signs, naturally they're not going to want to be around you, because they're not going to feel safe and secure. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, you can learn from this. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too over pursuing. If she won't make a date with you after 2 or 3 times, don't keep pushing it. Don't keep pressing it. You can't be too persistent with women. Because if a woman likes you, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be hella easy, like 1, 2, 3, but what I'm saying is she's not going to make it difficult for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we can learn from this. Never press women. Never be too judgmental, man. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna come off to a woman as, oh man, this dude's a stalker. Oh, this dude is crazy. And once a woman categorizes you like that, you know what I'm saying? That's how she's gonna always look at you, as a desperate dude who has a scarcity mindset. Because dudes that have an abundant mindset like me, if you don't like how somebody is, or for me, if a woman is not making it easy for me, I move on, because clearly you don't like me. Because the dude that she likes, she's not gonna make it difficult for him, because she doesn't want to mess it up with him. And that's the whole point to this video. Don't ever press women. All right, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys as always. Guys, if you want one-on-one consultations, make sure you hit that link in the description if you need help with any of your dating problems or anything like that. And also, guys, make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.